Murphy, you have 3.5 minutes.
Well, I suppose last Cancora, when I came in here, I had done some research, but I've changed my script completely. And I suppose maybe speaking from the heart, I recall the last debate here, and I recall this debate, and there's a distinct difference. Because I thought there was unity of purpose from every side in relation to the last debate. And when I engage in a debate in this chamber about mental health, I think of Minister McEntee. I think of Deputy Buckley. I think of people in the chamber or in the gallery who have been affected by suicide. I think of family connections and friends that have been hit by suicide. And I sat in the living room of one of those families in recent times in my own constituency. And the one thing that resonates in my mind the whole time, that the woman, the mother of this young lad, said to me, please ferociously fight with the government in terms of getting the funding, but don't get into the blame game of who did this and who did that. I had no intention of saying this evening. But Deputy James Brown, and you Deputy, is one of the most sincerest individuals you could meet, and I think the Minister will recognise that. He's done Trojan work in this area. He's so concerned, and on numerous occasions at our parliamentary party meeting, he's the person who speaks so passionately about this. And I know he's been on a one-to-one with so many people. And I acknowledge the government here are listening, and I acknowledge what we are doing from this side of the House. Now, I didn't want to say the next few words, but I have to say them. We waited 10 weeks to form a government in this country. It didn't happen. And at the end of the day, this side of the House, unlike some of our critics here this evening, did the right thing and formed a government. And the only reason I'm saying that, if we went into a second election, €40 million would have been lost on that election. And I can assure you, the mental health services will be an awful lot shorter of money than they are. Having said that, we all need to step up to the mark, and the government need to put the funding in that was promised. And I have here in front of me figures going back to April 2016, a shortfall of 2,687 in the mental health whole-time equivalents for the full implementation of the Vision for Change. And in every health board area, there's the red figures and a minus, which means that the teams that should be in place to look after people up to 18 years of age are not there. We need to put those in place as a matter of urgency. And we need to treat the matter most seriously, because so many people are suffering. Inside this chamber, outside this chamber, in our constituencies, it's a massive challenge. And wherever we get the finances and the money, we must get it. And finally, in relation to community health services, we have big issues in my own constituency of Roscommon and Galway, where people living in hostels who are taken out of big institutions, there's now attempts to move them out of where they're happy and contented. But I want to acknowledge that on 2 occasions recently, at the weekend, Minister McEntee took up the phone to me where I had left messages for her. So I want to acknowledge what you're trying to do. I know you're sincere. I know your heart's in the right place. And what I would say to you is, in conclusion, please try and get that extra funding that was promised for the mental health services, because it's needed.
Thank you, Deputy Murphy. In the government slot, there are 10 minutes, and I understand Minister Corcoran Kennedy is sharing with